Over the last year on Instagram, I've gone from 24,000 followers in January 2023 to over 170,000 followers in January 2024. And 4 months later, over 50,000 more followers. And listen, I'm not using the same schemes that everybody keeps preaching about on Instagram, these Instagram influencers and social media influencers. I'm not using the same trends and spammy viral strategies that, people are actually falling to and suffering from, and their growth is really suffering from it as well because they don't know that these things actually don't work. I'm not using these popular random hacks and fads that pop up a couple months and then basically die a couple months later. And to be real with you, I'm not even really editing my reels on Reels for real. I'm not worried about the time that I'm posting. Listen, I'm not worried about all these little things that a lot of people, unfortunately, are focusing a lot of time and energy on, and really it doesn't get them anywhere. And they focus on it for so long and work so hard on it, and unfortunately, it doesn't take them anywhere. So that's why I'm here today to give you guys some uncut, behind the scenes, no gatekeeping, no fluff on how I've been able to build hundreds and thousands of followers on Instagram, how I've been able to get my views to thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views, even tens of millions of views, which has acquired us hundreds and thousands of leads for our business. And we've taught other businesses and brands how to do the same for theirs. How you can get more views for your videos, more followers for your accounts, how you can get more people to connect with your brand using Instagram. All right, let's get to it. My name is Daniel Destine. I graduated with my degree in business, in project management, and business analysis. I actually retired my jobs at 22 years old. I started my first business when I was 20. I invested thousands of dollars, hours, and miles into the knowledge that I've implemented to grow my brand, grow multiple six-figure businesses, and help other people do the same. I coach entrepreneurs and business owners on how to grow their brands and businesses using social media and online marketing to 6 and 7 figures and beyond. So before we talk about the Reels framework, we have to talk about your IG framework, your Instagram framework. What does your account look like? When I go to your profile, what does it look like? You have to make sure that when people come to your page, it really represents you. It really represents your brand. What's your bio? Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? How do you actually help people? Because everybody's tuned in to a radio station called WIIFM. It's called What's in It for Me, right? So when people come to your page, they're automatically wondering internally, what's in it for me if I follow this person? When people come to your page, are they thinking, why should I follow this page? Why am I here? Or are they thinking, I love this page? I know exactly why I'm here. So when I'm breaking down my reels and when I'm making my content in general, I'm basically basing it off of my framework. Now, when I make my reels, I'm basing it off of a framework that I use, right? First, it starts with research and development. Based upon your craft or what you're posting about, your brand, or whatever it is you're on Instagram for, right? You need to research all the other people that's killing it in your brand, in your industry. Look at other people who are doing well in the things that you want to talk about, the things that you are doing. Maybe you're a barber. Look at other barbers on Instagram who are killing it, right? Start to research and develop your plans of what you could do, right? Based on that research. Now, I'm not saying copy people, but, there's nothing new under the sun, right, guys? So you can research other people's pages. You can research, what things are working in your industry, and research the type of tools, the softwares you might need. Research is just the beginning to making sure that you have a foundation that you can basically build your content on, right? So definitely start with research and development, right? Now, the next part is ideation, right? You have to have the idea, right? So now that you have the research of the industry, how you want to do your videos, what you want to talk about, how you want to look, what your setting is, all that sort of stuff. And, Instagram, by the way, is the best app in terms of the fact that you can show your life where you're at right now, no matter where you're at. So don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to have a fancy mic and a fancy setup. You know, when I first started making videos, you know, I was in a college apartment, right? Then I was in my own apartment. Then after that, I moved to a luxury apartment. Now I'm in my house, right? My own house. But it doesn't matter where you are. You can make videos anywhere. When I travel, when I go to different conventions and events that we do for our business, you know, when I go to Texas, when I go to California, when I go to Florida, when I go to Georgia, I'm making content, guys. So you are the content. Always remember that. So when it comes to that ideation, now you want to start to create the ideas of what you are going to talk about. You know, maybe go on Google and ask what are the frequently asked questions for, you know, your industry, right? You can figure out what are the types of questions people are asking. What are the types of, you know, answers that people need right now based upon your industry. And you can make a whole list of questions, a whole list of ideas in terms of answers for those questions, you know, and basically researching the market, researching what people want in your industry, and basically providing it through your content, providing the answers, providing the solutions, right, to people's problems. Next is creation. So with creation, this is where, you know, it's lights, camera, action, right? So, you know, one is the camera. Now, you don't need to have a fancy camera. I'm sure you've heard this by now, but you want to have at least, you know, an updated iPhone, right? I mean, right now, you know, I'm shooting this with my iPhone 15 Pro. Come on, guys. So you can literally make content with your phone. Now, you don't need the fancy lights and setups, but make sure your lighting is good, okay, when you're making the videos. And, you know, make sure people can hear you clearly, right? You know, the studio that I have here in my home, you know, it has an echo. We have some soundproof set up, right? You know, but essentially, you know, I got this mic so you guys can hear me clearly, right? So when I make videos for IG, you know, I'm able to use the mic so that they can hear me clearly. So with the creation, you have to make sure the lighting is right. Lights, camera, action, right? Make sure your lighting is right. Make sure you have a good camera. If you want to buy a professional camera, you definitely can. I have a couple different professional cameras that I'm looking at investing into. They're only a few grand, right? And I say only a few grand because you have to program your mind to understand that everything that you're doing is an investment into your business, into your brand, right? And you invest into your business and your brand and it'll pay you over time, right? So just make sure you're making the proper investments. Even if it's just a $1,500 iPhone where you can now shoot clear videos, right? And I'm not necessarily against the Android world, right? Don't hate me, don't be mad at me, right? Doesn't matter to me anyway, but I'm team iPhone, okay? I think iPhones are crisp, and I think a lot of people use iPhones. So, you know, I think it makes sense. Now, you also, if you're the type of person where you're going to be talking in your content, like a lot about different topics and stuff, and you want to, and you feel like you might get stuck in terms of speech and stuff like that, then, you know, make a script, get a teleprompter. There's teleprompter apps. You know, put the teleprompter app on your iPad or something, prep it up, prop it up, or buy a teleprompter, you know, technology, and basically put it behind the camera so that way, right, you don't have to remember what to say. If you're the person that's natural, you like to go from flow, right? That's sort of my flow. I do have some notes that I keep, but then I try to, you know, learn them as much as I can. But, you know, I'm like in between. I do like to write down what my ideas are and what I want to say and stuff like that. And then, you know, I might use it, you know, in between, just to get my, you know, jog my memory, you know, right before I start, you know, read over it, stuff like that. Maybe in between, look at it. Like for right now, I'm looking at my bullet points, right? So for this video, for a video like this, you know, I do have bullet points. So I'm making sure that I'm giving you guys the proper framework, right? So after creation is editing. So now you want to edit it, right? Now editing, you can either edit yourself, you can get someone else to edit it for you, but you know, that might be a, you know, another level. So, you know, let's just start with basic. You can edit your videos, right? There's many different apps that you can edit videos with. You know, one is called InShot, right? There's CapCut, okay? What I like to use as well is a app called Captions, because it'll automatically populate the captions for you, and you can edit the captions, right? And the style of the captions and the color and the font, and when it's highlighted and not highlighted, you can add pictures in between to make it more of that, nice style reel where it's like you talking, but then also other images popping up in between, right? So you can use those different apps to edit your video. One of my favorite apps right now, while it's still here, right? And, I believe we're going to be good, right? Is TikTok, right? I built hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok as well. They did something to my first account where I had to rebuild it again. We're still back up, and we're going for 200,000 again. So we're building it back up again. And, I think right now over 50, 60K right now. So, building it back up, I'm not tripping because I know I have a framework and it's already back up booming, right? So, basically, when it comes to Instagram, editing, you can edit it on TikTok because you can take that video, edit it on TikTok, and now you can use the save button on the bottom of the editor on TikTok, and now you can actually save that video with no watermark, right? So you're saving the video before you post it, not after, because if you save it after you post it, it'll have that watermark. So you click the save button on the bottom right corner of the editor when you're editing a TikTok video, and now you have that video, the full dry video. I mean, the full edited video, but no watermark, right? So now you can take that video and you can post it on YouTube. You could post it on Instagram, right? And so that's the editing part. That's my favorite way to edit, right? I use captions and I use TikTok typically to edit most of my videos. And these videos now, a hack for that, by the way, this is an Instagram video, but a hack for this is the fact that you're also building your TikTok at the same time, because now all the videos that you're, creating on TikTok, now you might as well post them on TikTok too, right? You already edited it there. It's in your drafts, maybe right there, right? You might as well post it and build that TikTok as well. But that's the editing right there, right? So you want to make sure you edit your videos, and it depends the style of your brand or your business on how you want to edit the video, if you even want to use captions or not, if it's necessary or not, how long your videos are depends on the topics. Typically, on Instagram, you want to keep most of your videos, if you're talking, anywhere between 30 and 60 seconds, and you can do long form videos on Instagram too. That's fine. Just don't expect every video you make to be a long video and for your Instagram to explode, right? You really want, because attention spans have shortened over time, right, guys? That's why TikTok is so effective, because you have these short videos that people can watch, and they can just scroll basically. But that's the idea now. People's attention span, they scroll to the next one, scroll to the next one. So you want to capture attention right away, right? And then you want to edit it so that it's not too long, right? So that's part of creation. It's part of editing. Making sure your video is not too long, but making sure that you're adding in the necessary ingredients that people need, so that way it does boost, your video, boost the engagement. It gives people the answers they need so that people like it, they comment, they save it, they share it, this, that, and the third, right? So all that will go into, the way you edit it and create your videos and edit your videos will all go into the results that your videos get, and the way that, people engage with it, the way people receive your content. Okay. And then the last part is posting. I'm not too crazy about the times. One thing though is that you want to be just cognizant. You want to understand life. Okay. I mean, personally, I wouldn't necessarily go posting, at midnight expecting my whole, Instagram to blow up because I'm posting all the time at midnight, and 7 a.m. These aren't necessarily the most optimal times, because those are the times where the least amount of people are online, right? You want to post at those hotspot times, 8 to 10 a.m., 11 to 1 p.m., 4 to 7 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m. These are great times. And like I told you earlier, I'm not too crazy about the specific time, like, oh, you have to post at this time and this time. But just make sure you're not posting at the times where everybody's asleep, right? I don't typically like to focus on early morning because, a lot of people are getting to their morning, stuff like that, not really scrolling too much. But you do want to post to get yourself out there. I'm not telling you guys not to post in the morning, though. Remember, I'm just saying don't post at like 4 or 5 a.m. only unless it is aligning with their brand and if you're posting multiple times a day. But don't just post at 4 o'clock a.m. and just post at 12, just expecting your Instagram to grow. You see what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you're posting consistently and that you're posting at optimal times throughout the day where people are awake, where people are scrolling. So, I like the typical, I say 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is a good range of knowing like, okay, this is when most people are on. Now, if you're like an early morning poster, if you're an early morning influencer, if you're in fitness, if you're whatever the case may be, and you get up early, or you're talking about, disciplining your life and how you need to get up early and stuff like that, it would definitely make sense to post at that time. Because once again, I'm talking about making sure at the end of the day that it's just aligned with their brand and aligned with you and aligned with who you are, right? So that's what all of this is about, okay? And lastly, is that you want to make sure that it's actually valuable content. You have to make sure that it even has some rarity to it, right? It has, some sort of a level that a lot of people don't know what it's about, a level of curiosity, a level of even conspiracy, even, something that people don't necessarily all agree with. I'm not saying to lie to people. I'm saying you can walk the line, especially if you have something that is polarizing, something that, a lot of people would argue or talk about, creating debates, creating discussion, because truly that's what social media is about, isn't it? So listen, if you'd like me and my team to help you grow a 6 and 7 figure brand online, help you grow your brand and your social media to 100,000 plus followers, help you learn how to generate leads online, teach you how to create websites or funnels so that way you can sell your products or services, and how to create digital products and services for your business. And so you learn how to create engaging content so that people all over the world are lining out the door just to get to you. Then go ahead and go to Instagram and DM me the word mentor. Or you can go ahead and go to my Stan Store and which is my financial literacy website. And you can basically book a one-on-one call with me, or you can get access to my mentorship. And I will walk you through. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way so that we can get your Instagram to the next level like we did. So that millions of people across the world can learn about your brand and business. See, most businesses, there's a lot of great people out there. A lot of you guys have awesome, awesome products, awesome services, amazing ideas, phenomenal talent and skill, but just nobody knows about you. Social media is truly the new newspaper. So Instagram, I truly believe, is a blessing right now because personally, it allowed me to reach a lot of people. And it's helped me build my business in ways that just handing out flyers, knocking doors couldn't do. Okay, so listen, guys, it's your boy. Make sure you implement these skills, these tactics, these strategies, and your Instagram will blow up. All right, let's get to it, y'all.